It is currently 10:30 in the morning. I have to go to work later, but frankly, I don't care because I need a drink to numb the pain left by the horrifically terrible and cringeworthy Sonic experience that Atreyu is apparently calling Baptize. Fasten your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because we are in for a bumpy fucking ride today. So, full disclosure, I've never actually paid a lot of attention to Atreyu over the years. In fact, I hadn't even heard a single record of theirs until very recently. In preparation for this album review, I decided I would listen to the greatest hits album they have on Spotify, and I also listened to the first two albums, Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses and The Curse, as well as their most recent studio album preceding this one, In Our Wake. And I was extremely unimpressed by all of it. I think In Our Wake was probably the strongest of all of the records I listened to, but I would hesitate to call it like a good album. But even so, despite my extremely limited knowledge of and experience with Atreyu, I feel remarkably comfortable telling you that Baptize is Atreyu's worst album yet, and quite possibly one of the worst albums of 2021. It is a bland, formulaic, and repetitive display of egregiously and unnecessarily overblown metalcore and pop metal that theoretically would have been quickly and easily forgotten had it not been for the fact that Baptize is, as a result of all of this, so remarkably annoying. The songwriting is lazy. It's the same verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus arrangements that we've heard from so many other hot topic metalcore and post-hardcore bands over the course of the past 15 fucking years. The lyrics all boil down to being the same lazy and tired introspective dribble that often consumes metalcore of this variety. I'm reminded of some of the worst written material, not just from Atreyu, but of Escape the Fate, Falling in Reverse, early Black Veil Brides, and Bring Me the Horizon. They rely on a lot of cliche analogies and metaphors, the kind of stuff you would probably find on somebody's Tumblr or MySpace blog back in the day. And every single lead riff, every single breakdown, every single chorus is just so overblown, unnecessarily loud to the point of being genuinely fucking painful. After my very first playthrough of this record, no bullshit, no lie, I had a fucking headache and I listened to it on a relatively low volume. It honestly feels like while Atreyu was recording this material, the guys in the studio were just fucking around with the knobs and dials in between verses and choruses. Because all throughout the album, you'll have relatively quiet verses and instrumental passages being immediately followed by irritatingly loud barrages of anthemic vocals and electric guitar. The album's title track, Baptize, Sabotage Me, Save Us, and Warrior all being remarkable examples of everything I'm talking about. The latter track, Warrior, may I add, stands as perhaps one of the worst songs on the entire album. It is trying so desperately hard to be a gigantic, inspirational rock anthem that it just looks kind of pathetic and cheesy. But what's really tragic about Baptize is that there is often genuine passion bleeding through even despite the horrible sound mixing and lazy songwriting, and that is all thanks to Brandon Saller, who has now officially taken over as Atreyu's sole frontman. He is consistently singing his fucking ass off, and as a result, he does come occasionally close to actually selling some of this material. The track Deadweight being a great example. There is a finesse and elasticity to his performance, namely in the chorus, that is very much on par with what I would expect from like a Hollywood pop star. It's by no means an amazing track. I'll concede that it's still a pretty generic piece of contemporary pop rock, very much in the vein of like Daughtry or Trapped. But you know, at least there's like some fucking humanity to this, which I don't really get from a lot of the other tracks, and that's entirely because of Brandon. That's certainly not something I can say for the super edgy Papa Roach meets Slipknot butt metal of Fucked Up, or the remarkably, hilariously overproduced melodrama of Stay. Which, honest to God, sounds like something I would hear in some kind of super melodramatic TikTok video where some teenager is crying because his heart is broken and he misses his girlfriend so much. Ah! Then there's Underrated, which, on top of sounding like an extremely cookie-cutter melodic metalcore Hot Topic Warped Tour anthem, is just kind of confusing lyrically. Like, honestly, I'm not really sure what this track is really talking about. Other times it's trying to be, like, really motivational and tries to talk about, like, perseverance. At other times it just kind of sounds like your typical tough guy metalcore anthem. And at other times Atreyu kind of brags about being, like, super underrated and being, like, super powerful and no one's gonna stop them, not even the haters. And then to top it all off, there is the absolute dumpster fire of Catastrophe, which has the audacity to directly steal a melody from Let It Go, the Academy Award-winning smash hit from Disney's Frozen. I'm sorry, but this is not one of those incidences where it's like, oh, that sounds familiar, I wonder. Like, it's as clear as fucking day. It is so goddamn clear that I'm legitimately shocked Walt Disney himself did not rise from his grave and slap the mother of all fucking lawsuits onto Atreyu's fucking doorstep. Sweet Kentucky Fried Fuck, folks. What more could I possibly say at this point? This is a terrible album. This gets a 1 out of 5 from me, and the only reason I don't go lower is because I want to, nay, have to give some credit to Brandon Saller. I think ditching Alex was a fantastic decision on Atreyu's part, and I think vocally this is Brandon's best work to date. If nothing else, this motherfucker tried where everyone else didn't. But he alone cannot save an album this poorly written and produced. An album this lazy, this generic, this predictable, this formulaic, and this overblown to the point of being fucking pretentious. If you really, and I mean really fucking loved In Our Wake and you have some kind of hearing issue and therefore sound mixing and shit like that doesn't really bother you, then by all means give this a shot, I guess, but to everyone else, just don't bother. Don't fucking bother with this album for even a goddamn moment. This is, in my humble opinion, Atreyu's worst album to date. It is the worst album of 2021 so far, and very likely a contender for worst rock or metal album of the year, period, when the time comes to debate exactly that around December. Although, come to think of it, we do still have that Psychosexual album on the horizon, which, let's be honest, is probably going to fucking suck as well. Whatever. I suppose we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. For the time being, Baptize by Atreyu, 1 out of 5, a terrible fucking album, one of the worst of 2021 so far. This is one catastrophe that you will absolutely not want to fucking dance in, contrary to whatever Atreyu might like to fucking tell you. And booyah, that's it. If I didn't piss you off in this video, then you can subscribe by pressing this button right here. I'm gonna go swig this whiskey and go listen to objectively better music. Fuck Atreyu. Fuck Atreyu. Fuck Atreyu. I think I covered all the bases. Yeah. Have yourself a fantastic fucking day.